Listen to me. They think they know you. They think this is the final version of you. But what they don't know is that Allah has been rewriting your story in silence. And when He finally reveals you, even you won't recognize the person you've become. 1. Allah is quietly writing the version of you they never saw coming. They thought this was the final version of you. They thought they had seen everything you had to offer. They doubted your strength. They misread your silence as a weakness. They mistook your heartbreak for defeat. They looked at your pain and thought it had destroyed you forever. But what they didn't know is that Allah has been working on you in ways they can't even begin to imagine. They see only the surface. They don't see the nights you've cried alone, the prayers you've whispered in exhaustion, the battles you've fought silently within yourself. They don't know about the whispers you've sent to the skies when no one was watching. But Allah knows. He has been rewriting your story, line by line, moment by moment, tear by tear. And while they assumed you were being left behind, Allah was quietly pulling you aside, not to erase you, but to prepare you. He hid you. He slowed you down. He stripped away the noise around you, because the version of you He's shaping is not meant to be revealed too soon. Some chapters are so sacred that Allah writes them in silence, far away from eyes that would misunderstand your journey. That's why the doors you begged for didn't open. That's why some people you loved walked away. That's why dreams you thought were yours suddenly crumbled before your eyes. It wasn't rejection, it was protection. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered dua, every closed door, all of it was Allah whispering, not yet, not here, not with them. Because if He gave you what you wanted back then, you would have settled for less than what He's preparing you for now. And I know. You've had nights where you questioned yourself, where you asked, why me, Ya Allah? Why am I always the one waiting? Why do I feel so invisible? Why does my life feel stuck when everyone else seems to be moving ahead? But listen carefully. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're not being punished. You're being rebuilt. You're being written into something greater than the version of you they thought they knew. Sometimes Allah slows you down so He can speed you up at the right time. Sometimes He hides you so He can reveal you when the world is ready to see what He has placed inside you. Do not lose hope, nor be sad. You will surely be victorious if you are true believers. Quran 3:139. This isn't your ending. This is your becoming. But I know what it feels like right now. It feels heavy. It feels lonely. It feels unfair. You keep wondering when things will finally make sense. You keep questioning when the silence will end. And that's when Shaitan whispers, maybe Allah has forgotten you. But He hasn't. He never has. Every time you've cried in the dark, He heard you. Every time you whispered His name through broken lips, He saw you. Every time you felt empty, He was filling you in ways your heart couldn't see yet. Sometimes Allah answers your du'as by preparing you for what you've been asking for. Because if He gave it to you now, you wouldn't be able to carry it. So He shapes you first. He cleanses you first. He strengthens you first. That's why this silence is sacred. That's why this waiting is holy. That's why this version of you is being written quietly. Because some blessings are too fragile to be touched by noise. And one day, you'll look back at this very season and realize it was the most beautiful chapter of your life. Because it's here, in the breaking, in the waiting, in the becoming that Allah is molding you into the version of yourself you were always meant to be. You've been feeling hidden, haven't you? Like the world has moved on without you. Like no one notices your effort, your heart, your prayers. But let me tell you something you may not see right now. Allah notices every single thing. He sees the sacrifices you've made silently. He sees the weight you carry that no one else can understand. He sees the battles you fight when no one is watching. He sees the patience you've had to hold on to, even when your heart was breaking. And that's why he's keeping you hidden. Not because you're unworthy, but because you're too valuable to be revealed too soon. Think about it. When something precious is being crafted, gold, diamonds, masterpieces, they're always shaped in silence, away from noise, away from careless eyes. Why? Because the process is fragile. Because the result is sacred. That's what Allah is doing with you. He's protecting you from being touched by the wrong people, from being shaped by the wrong environments, from being attached to things that were never meant for your soul. That's why he's slowed you down when others are racing ahead. That's why he's separated you from certain circles. That's why doors you begged for have remained closed. And yes, I know it hurts. I know it feels unfair. You've tried to understand the why behind everything, but nothing makes sense right now. It's because Allah is working on a chapter of your life you're not meant to read yet. He's preparing you for a version of yourself you wouldn't even recognize today. You're wondering why people underestimated you, why they doubted your worth, why they dismissed your dreams. But the truth is, Allah wanted them to doubt you. He wanted them to overlook you. Because if they believed in you too soon, they would have tried to take credit for what he's about to do through you. He's keeping your rise quiet, so that when the world finally sees it, everyone will know it was never you. It was always him. Sometimes the silence feels endless. Sometimes the waiting feels unbearable. But silence isn't absence. Waiting isn't neglect. It's divine preparation. Allah is teaching you how to depend on him fully, so when he elevates you, your heart won't belong to the people who doubted you. It'll belong only to him, and maybe right now you feel like nothing is changing. Every day feels the same. Every dua feels unanswered. Every dream feels delayed. But you're changing. Inside you, there's a strength growing quietly. There's a faith becoming unshakable. There's a heart being cleansed from attachments that once controlled you. You can't see it yet, but Allah can. He sees the version of you he's shaping. He knows the story he's writing, and he knows exactly when to reveal it. The people around you may not understand this season. Some might call you lazy. Some might call you lost. Some might even laugh at your silence, thinking you've given up. But what they don't know is that this silence is holy. This stillness is sacred. This hiddenness is protection. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're being prepared. You're being equipped. You're being rewritten. And when the day comes, when Allah finally decides to lift the veil, they will see a version of you they won't even recognize. A version of you so grounded, so unshakable, so deeply connected to him that their doubt will turn into awe. So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is true. Quran 30:60. This silence is not the end. It's the birthplace of everything you've been praying for. It's where Allah is turning heartbreak into wisdom. It's where he's transforming delays into divine timing. It's where he's shaping you into someone who can carry blessings without breaking under them. One day you'll wake up and realize that the version of you Allah created in the dark was always greater than the one you thought you were chasing in the light. You'll look back at this season, and instead of pain, you'll feel gratitude, because you'll finally understand why Allah didn't let certain things happen when you wanted them to, why he removed certain people, why he allowed certain tears, because everything you lost was making space for everything he's about to give. And when that time comes, you won't need to explain yourself to anyone. You won't need to prove anyone wrong. Your existence will be the proof. Your rise will be the answer. Your becoming will speak louder than any words ever could. 2. What Allah took away wasn't loss. It was clearing space. You cried when they left. You begged Allah to keep them in your life. You thought your heart would never recover from the emptiness they left behind. I know how deeply you loved them. I know how tightly you held on. I know how many nights you stayed awake, asking yourself why Allah took them away when you needed them most. But listen to me carefully. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't cruelty. It wasn't abandonment. It was protection. Allah saw what you couldn't see. He knew what your heart couldn't know. He heard conversations you didn't hear. He witnessed betrayals you didn't notice. He saw intentions you couldn't read. And because He loves you, He removed them. I know you thought they were your answer. I know you believed they were part of your story forever. But some people aren't sent to stay. They're sent to teach. They're sent to grow you. They're sent to shape you into the person you're becoming. And once their purpose is complete, Allah takes them away. You see, what Allah takes away is never meant to harm you. It's meant to clear space. Sometimes we ask for blessings while holding on to what's blocking them. We ask Allah for peace while clinging to the very thing that's keeping us restless. We pray for strength, but refuse to let go of what's making us weak. So Allah intervenes, not to break you, but to free you. And yes, freedom hurts at first. It feels like your chest is collapsing. It feels like the air is thinner. It feels like the silence is unbearable. But that emptiness, it isn't punishment. It's preparation. Because sometimes before Allah can give you what you've been praying for, He has to make space for it. If He had kept them in your life, you would have settled for less than what He's written for you. You would have accepted a smaller version of love, a weaker version of peace, a limited version of yourself. But Allah loves you too much to let you settle. And I know it's hard to see that right now. I know it feels like loss. I know it feels like life has taken something from you. But what if I told you, this isn't loss at all? It's exchange. Allah removes what was temporary to make space for what's eternal. He removes what's shallow to make space for what's deep. He removes what would have broken you to make space for what will finally build you. Perhaps you dislike something which is good for you. Quran 2:216. You see, your heart was holding on. Two things that couldn't carry the weight of your prayers. And Allah knew it. That's why He didn't just gently close those doors. Sometimes He slammed them shut. Because He knew if He didn't, you would have walked through them anyway. And even though it feels painful now, one day you will thank Him. One day you'll look back at this moment and say, Ya Allah, you were saving me and I didn't even know it. You keep asking yourself, why did Allah take them away? Why did that door close so suddenly? Why did everything I thought was mine slip away? And yet, every time you ask, you feel more broken than before. But let me tell you something that will change how you see everything. When Allah removes, He is never subtracting. He is making room to multiply. Sometimes He removes the people you thought you couldn't live without, because they were quietly draining the life out of your soul. Sometimes He closes the doors you begged for, because what's behind them would have broken you in ways you couldn't handle. Sometimes He delays your plans, because your plans were too small for the size of your destiny. And I know, right now it feels unfair. You don't understand why your prayers didn't match your reality. You don't understand why the people you trusted most became the very people who hurt you the deepest. But hear me, what you thought was loss was actually mercy in disguise. Allah saw the heartbreak you couldn't see coming. He heard the conversations you weren't meant to hear. He witnessed the intentions you couldn't read. And out of His love for you, He took it away before it could destroy you. Sometimes Allah loves you too much to answer your prayers the way you want. He says no now, so that He can say yes to something greater later. He closes this door because the one He's about to open will make you forget you ever wanted the first one. I know this emptiness hurts. I know you wake up some mornings feeling like something is missing. I know you've stared at the ceiling, wondering if your life will ever feel whole again, but emptiness is never wasted. In the silence where they left, Allah is planting something new. In the space they couldn't fill, He's preparing blessings that will one day overflow. Because you see, Allah doesn't just take, He replaces, and what He gives after He removes is always better, deeper, stronger, purer than what you lost. You thought they were holding you up, but they were holding you back. You thought they were the answer to your dua, but they were blocking the real blessing from reaching you. You thought your future needed them, but Allah knew your future was bigger than they could handle. This is why He removed them. One day you'll see the wisdom in every closed door. One day you'll thank Allah for every goodbye that made no sense. One day you'll look at the blessings pouring into your life and realize there was never enough space for them until He emptied your hands. And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. This heartbreak you're feeling isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new one. Right now it feels like Allah took something from you, but in reality, He's preparing to give you something you weren't ready to hold yet. And when it comes, you won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to fight to keep it, because what Allah sends after removal is always yours by decree. And when you stand there holding the blessing you once thought you'd never have, you'll realize what you thought was loss was the greatest gift He ever gave you. 3. Delays are Allah's way of protecting what's not ready yet. You've been waiting for so long, haven't you? Waiting for that prayer to be answered. Waiting for that door to open. Waiting for the moment when your life will finally make sense. You've whispered the same dua again and again. You've cried in sajda until your chest ached. You've told no one, but deep down, you're tired. Tired of asking. Tired of hoping. Tired of watching everyone else move forward while you feel like you're standing still. And somewhere inside you, the whispers begin. Why me, Ya Allah? Why am I always the one waiting? Have you forgotten me? But He hasn't. Not for a single heartbeat. Not for a single moment. This delay you're living through, it's not punishment, it's protection. You see, sometimes Allah slows you down because what you've been praying for isn't ready for you yet, and sometimes you're not ready for it. If He gave you what you want right now, it might destroy you. It might overwhelm you. It might take you places your soul isn't strong enough to handle yet. So Allah waits. He waits until your heart is prepared. He waits until your character is strengthened. He waits until the blessing is safe for you to carry. And I know it hurts right now. I know you're watching people get what you've been begging for. I know it feels like your prayers are stuck somewhere between earth and heaven. But they're not ignored. They're stored. Every single tear you've shed, every quiet Ya Allah you've whispered, every time you looked at the sky hoping for a sign, none of it is lost. Allah has heard every single one. He is not delaying to hurt you. He is delaying to elevate you, because there's a difference between what you want and what you're ready for. Think about it. When a seed is planted, you don't see growth right away. There's darkness first. There's stillness first. But under the soil, something is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Life is preparing to break through. That's what Allah is doing with you. Your delay isn't lifeless. It's alive with preparation. You're being rooted, so when you finally rise, nothing will be able to shake you. And maybe the place you've been praying to enter isn't ready to hold the weight of your purpose yet. Maybe the person you've been asking for isn't ready to love you the way your heart deserves. Maybe the opportunity you've been chasing would have crushed your spirit instead of nurturing it. So Allah holds it back, not to deny you, but to protect you. Indeed, Allah knows while you do not. Quran 2:216. He knows the harm you can't see yet. He knows the traps disguised as blessings. He knows the places where your heart would break. And because he knows, he withholds. I know you don't see it right now. I know the waiting feels endless. But one day, you'll look back and realize, this delay was the greatest act of love Allah ever gave you. You see, if Allah gave you everything the moment you asked for it, your heart would mistake timing for power. You'd believe the blessing came because you deserved it, instead of realizing it came because He knew when it was safe for you. And the truth is, not all blessings are blessings if they arrive too early. A crown placed on a child is not honor, it's a burden. A gift handed to someone unprepared is not mercy. It's a test that can break them. This is why Allah delays, not because He has forgotten, not because He has ignored you, but because He is protecting you from the weight of blessings you're not ready to carry yet. Think about rain. If it falls too soon, before the seed is ready, the soil becomes mud and nothing grows. But when the timing is right, the rain nourishes, strengthens, and brings life. Your delay is rain waiting for its perfect season. Sometimes you think you're waiting because life is unfair, but you're waiting because Allah is aligning your heart with your destiny, aligning your dua with your capacity, aligning your soul with the places He wants to send you. That's why the doors haven't opened yet. That's why the person you thought was meant for you drifted away. That's why the job, the opportunity, the moment slipped through your hands. Because Allah knows what you cannot see. He knows the traps you mistake for treasures. He knows the people you think you need, but who would secretly break you. He knows the timing you think is right, but which would only harm you. So He waits. He teaches you patience in silence. He teaches you surrender in stillness. He teaches you strength in waiting. And though you may not realize it now, the very act of waiting is shaping you. It's cleansing you of desperation. It's teaching you to love Allah more than outcomes. It's preparing you to carry the blessing without losing yourself in it. Because when the blessing finally comes, you won't worship the blessing. You'll worship the one who gave it. You won't say, "Look what I achieved." You'll whisper, "Ya Allah, you remembered me." Delays are not empty pauses. They are sacred classrooms. They are quiet training grounds where Allah strengthens your spirit so you can walk into the future without breaking under its weight. Maybe right now you're being tested with silence, because your voice will one day carry truth to thousands. Maybe right now you're being tested with heartbreak, because your heart will one day comfort people broken just like you. Maybe right now you're being tested with loss, because your hands will one day give to those who have nothing. And if Allah gave it all to you now, you wouldn't yet have the depth, the patience, the gratitude to handle it the way He wants you to. So instead, He delays, not to make you suffer, but to make you stronger. And be patient, for indeed, Allah does not allow to be lost the reward of those who do good. Quran 11:11-5. One day this waiting will make sense. One day you'll stand in front of the blessing you once begged for and realize you're finally ready. Not because the blessing changed, but because you did. And when that day comes, you'll thank Allah for every delay. You'll thank Him for every night you cried, every moment you doubted, every year that felt wasted. Because you'll see it clearly then. Those delays were never wasted time. They were love, they were mercy, they were protection. You keep wondering why it hasn't happened yet, why that prayer hasn't been answered, why that dream still feels out of reach, why every door you knock on stays shut. But what if I told you this silence is not a punishment, it's positioning? Allah hasn't forgotten you. He's moving you. He's aligning you with things you can't yet see. And just because you can't see movement doesn't mean nothing is happening. Behind the veil of this delay, Allah is rewriting your story. Not to give you less than you imagined, but to give you more than you even know to ask for. Because sometimes your dua is too small for the size of your destiny. You're asking Allah for a river while He's preparing you for an ocean. You're asking Him for survival while He's preparing you for abundance. You're praying for a single door, but He's building an entire path. And that takes time. Blessings aren't just handed to you. They're built around you. Every unseen delay, every silent pause, every not yet is Allah preparing the world to meet the version of you He's shaping. Think about that for a moment. This isn't just about you being ready. It's also about the blessing being ready for you. If He gave it to you now, you wouldn't be able to hold it. If He rushed the timing, the very thing meant to elevate you might crush you instead. So He waits, and in the waiting, He transforms you. He teaches your heart to detach from what's temporary. He teaches your soul to rest in His plan. He teaches your spirit to breathe in patience when the world keeps screaming, hurry, because the truth is, waiting is not wasted time. It's sacred preparation, and the longer the delay, the greater the unveiling. When Allah finally decides, when His decree meets its moment, when your prayer collides with His perfect timing, you'll understand why it took this long. You'll realize the doors that didn't open were never meant to. You'll see that the people who left couldn't walk the path Allah designed for you. You'll finally understand why He pulled you back when you were trying to run ahead. Indeed, Allah's promise is always true. Quran 30:60. One day you'll wake up and the wait will be over. The tears you cried in secret will turn into sujood of gratitude, and you'll whisper through trembling lips, Ya Allah, now I understand. That moment is coming. But until it arrives, don't lose hope. Don't measure Allah's love by your timeline. Don't mistake silence for absence. Because right now, in ways you cannot see, the blessing you've been praying for is being prepared, just like you are. And when it finally comes, you won't need to chase it. It will find you at the exact moment your heart is ready to receive it. 4. Your isolation is the sacred workshop. I know what it feels like to be alone. I know what it feels like to wake up and realize the people you thought would stay are gone. I know the silence you hear when you're scrolling through old conversations, wondering how everything changed so suddenly. And maybe right now you feel forgotten, invisible, unloved, abandoned by people you trusted the most. But what if I told you this isn't abandonment at all? This is construction. Your isolation is not a punishment. It's a workshop, a sacred place where Allah is shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. You see, when Allah wants to elevate someone, He separates them first. When He wants to strengthen you, He strips away the voices around you. When He wants to prepare you for more, He places you in silence so deep that the only voice you hear is His. That's why the people you thought were permanent walked away. That's why the ones you trusted drifted into the distance. That's why you sit alone now, thinking you've been left behind, when in reality you've been chosen for a journey most people will never understand, chosen for a transformation most people will never witness, chosen for blessings so great Allah had to remove the noise before He could reveal them. I know this quiet hurts. I know the empty rooms feel heavier at night. I know you keep staring at the ceiling, asking, why me, Ya Allah? Why does it feel like no one sees me? Why does it feel like I don't belong anywhere? But maybe that's the point. You're not supposed to belong everywhere. You're not supposed to fit into every circle. You're not supposed to be understood by everyone. Because Allah is building a version of you that can't be built in crowds. It can only be built in silence, in solitude, in stillness. Think about the seed planted deep beneath the soil. It spends weeks, sometimes months, buried in darkness where no one can see it. From the outside, it looks lifeless, forgotten, invisible. But beneath the surface, it's breaking open, it's growing roots, it's preparing to rise. That's what Allah is doing with you. Right now, your roots are forming in silence. Your foundation is being built in stillness, and when the time is right, you will rise not as the same person you were before, but as someone the world won't even recognize. You keep thinking you've been left behind. You keep comparing your life to theirs. You scroll through pictures, you watch their milestones, and you whisper to yourself, "Why does everyone else seem to be moving while I'm standing still?" But listen carefully. You're not standing still. You're being stationed. Allah has placed you exactly where you are right now, not because you've been forgotten, but because He's building something inside you that can't be built anywhere else. When Allah wants to prepare a soul for greatness, He often does it in silence. When He wants to make your heart unshakable, He isolates you from the voices that would weaken you. When He wants to open a door for you that the world cannot shut, He places you in a season where only He has the key. And yes, I know it hurts. You miss the people who used to check on you. You ache for the laughter you used to share. Some days it feels like the world has closed its doors on you. But the doors that closed weren't meant for where Allah is sending you. The people who left weren't strong enough to carry the weight of your future. The silence you're sitting in right now is not emptiness. It's protection. Think about Musa alayhi salam. Before he stood before Pharaoh, before he split the sea, before he led his people to freedom, he spent years in isolation, years away from the crowd, years where only Allah could speak into his heart. Think about Maryam alayhi salam. Before she carried the greatest miracle the world had seen, she withdrew from everyone, alone, hidden, separated, because some miracles are written in silence, before they're revealed in light. And you are no different. This loneliness you hate so much is the cocoon where Allah is reshaping you. He's softening your heart where it's been hardened. He's sharpening your faith where it's been fragile. He's preparing your soul to hold blessings so heavy you'd crumble if He gave them to you now. That's why certain friendships dissolved. That's why some relationships ended. That's why you can't seem to fit in anywhere lately. It's because Allah has pulled you aside, away from what would distract you, away from what would drain you, away from what would dilute what He's placing inside you. And I know, right now, it feels lonely. But one day, you'll understand. You'll look back and realize that this silence you hated was the very place Allah rebuilt you. You'll remember these nights and smile through tears, saying, "Ya Allah, you were working on me the whole time, and I didn't even know it." Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. This quiet you're in now is not a punishment. It's the holy ground where your next chapter is being written. Do you know why you feel distant from everyone? Do you know why no one seems to understand you anymore? Why conversations feel shallow? Why laughter doesn't sound the same? Why the places you used to love don't feel like home anymore? It's not because you've changed randomly. It's because Allah is changing you intentionally. When Allah wants to take you somewhere higher, He first pulls you away from where you are. When He wants to rewrite your destiny, He begins by rewriting your environment. And when He wants to reveal a version of you the world has never seen, He hides you while He builds it. That's why this isolation feels so heavy. You were once surrounded by people, but now it's quiet. You used to belong everywhere, but now you feel misplaced, even among friends. It feels like no one truly sees you, and maybe that's the point. Not everyone was meant to witness this becoming. Not everyone was meant to see the version of you Allah is creating, because what He's doing inside you is too delicate to be handled by careless hands. So He separates you. He blinds certain people from seeing your value. He closes doors that once felt wide open. He removes you from conversations you used to crave. And yes, it hurts. It feels like rejection. But it's not rejection, it's protection. Some blessings are too big to build in public. Some transformations require silence so deep, even you can't yet see the changes happening within you. And I know what you're thinking. But why does it have to be this lonely? Because in loneliness, your heart begins to hear what it's been ignoring. In silence, you start to notice the whispers Allah has been sending all along. In stillness, you finally see where you were chasing noise instead of meaning. This is why prophets were separated before they were elevated. Yunus, alayhi salam, found his purpose in the belly of a whale, alone, unseen, unheard by the world, but seen perfectly by Allah. Yusuf, alayhi salam, was left in a well by his own brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into prison, misunderstood and forgotten by everyone. Yet, every moment of his isolation was Allah preparing him for leadership and honor he could not yet comprehend. Even our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, would retreat to the cave of Hira before revelation descended, away from noise, away from crowds, alone with his Creator, before being sent to transform the world. And you are no different. Allah isolates the souls He wants to elevate. He hides the hearts He wants to purify. He strips away the attachments so He can return you to the only attachment that never breaks, Him. So don't mistake this silence for neglect. Don't confuse this stillness with abandonment. This is where Allah is teaching you what no crowd could ever teach. This is where He's sharpening your mind, softening your heart, and planting seeds of strength you don't even know you'll need yet. And one day, you'll understand. One day, you'll stand in the middle of a blessing so perfect, so aligned, so divinely timed, that you'll whisper through your tears, Ya Allah, now I see why you kept me alone for so long, because you were never truly alone. You were being prepared, protected, positioned. This silence you hate right now isn't the absence of life. It's the birthplace of it. 5. The wounds that shaped you are the proof. Allah is with you. I know there are wounds you don't talk about. I know there are scars hidden beneath your smile. I know there are nights you stare at the ceiling, thinking about everything that broke you, and wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. You've been carrying so much in silence. The betrayal you never saw coming, the heartbreak you couldn't escape, the losses you never prepared for, the dreams you watched slip through your hands. You thought those wounds were proof that Allah left you. But what if I told you they're the opposite? What if I told you those wounds are the clearest signs that Allah has been with you all along? Because look at you. After everything you've been through, you're still here. After every heartbreak, your heart still beats. After every storm, you're still standing. That's not weakness. That's not coincidence. That's Allah holding you when you couldn't hold yourself. He was there when they left. He was there when they lied. He was there when the people you trusted became the source of your deepest pain. And He's here now, closer than your breath, whispering softly to your heart, I never abandoned you. Every tear you've cried has been counted. Every whisper of Ya Allah in your darkest night was heard before it even left your lips. Every moment you felt unseen was a moment Allah was looking straight at you, protecting you from things you couldn't see yet. And maybe right now you still feel broken. Maybe you wake up some mornings and the weight of what you've lost feels heavier than the strength you have left. But listen to me carefully. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being rebuilt. Sometimes Allah allows the heart to break so He can rebuild it without the attachments that once controlled it. Sometimes He lets doors close so He can lead you to the ones written just for you. Sometimes He allows you to be wounded so your soul finally looks up instead of around. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. Quran 94:6. You thought the pain was punishment. It wasn't. It was permission permission to step into a version of yourself you would have never discovered otherwise. And I know it hurts to hear that now, because the pain is still raw. The memories still sting, the pieces still don't make sense, but one day you'll look back and realize every wound carried you closer to Allah. Every heartbreak unclenched your hands. From what was never written for you, every loss pushed you toward the blessings you didn't even know you were meant to hold. Your scars are not signs of failure. They are signs of survival, signs that Allah carried you through storms. You didn't think you'd survive. You thought the people who hurt you were the end of your story. You thought the ones who left had taken the best parts of you with them. You thought what you lost could never be replaced. But what if I told you they weren't meant to stay? What if I told you Allah allowed them to leave because they were blocking the blessings written for you? It hurts, doesn't it, to realize you gave your heart to people who didn't know how to hold it, to know you poured your soul into places that were never meant to keep you. But one day, you'll see it clearly. The betrayal that broke you was also the bridge that led you closer to Allah. Sometimes Allah lets them hurt you, so you finally stop depending on them. Sometimes He allows the people you trust most to disappoint you. So you return to the only one who will never leave you empty. You think your wounds are proof of how much you've lost, but they're actually proof of how much you've been loved. Because the same heartbreak that brought you to your knees is what brought you back to Him. Look closely at your scars. They're not signs of weakness, they're signs of survival. Signs that Allah stood beside you when everyone else walked away. The nights you cried yourself to sleep, you weren't alone. Every tear was witnessed, every whisper was heard, every silent scream was carried straight to the one who promises, "Indeed, I am near." Quran 2:186. Your wounds are not random, they're deliberate. They're carefully placed moments that force you to pause, to rethink, to rediscover who you are and whose you are. Because without this pain, you would have stayed where you didn't belong. Without this heartbreak, you would have settled for less than what's written for you. Without this breaking, you would have never found the strength Allah planted within you. And I know right now it feels like the pain will never end. I know you wake up some mornings, and the weight of everything you've endured feels heavier than your chest can carry. I know there are memories that still sting, no matter how much time has passed. But I promise you this: the very wounds you hate are the ones carrying you to the places you've been praying for. The things you thought would destroy you are the very things Allah is using to build you. What you thought was loss is becoming the foundation of your next chapter. You see, Allah doesn't waste pain. Not a single tear, not a single sleepless night, not a single heartbreak. Everything you've been through has purpose written into it, and one day you'll see it. One day you'll look at the life you're living and realize the people who left didn't take your future with them. One day you'll look at the blessings in your hands and whisper through tears, "Ya Allah, every wound carried me here." You'll finally understand why He let some doors close so painfully, why He took some people away so suddenly, why He allowed the tears that made you feel forgotten. It was never to harm you, it was always to heal you. There were moments you didn't think you'd survive, days where breathing felt like carrying a mountain, nights where your pillow knew the taste of your tears better than anyone else, and yet somehow you survived them all. Do you realize what that means? It means you were never alone. It means Allah was carrying you through storms you didn't have the strength to walk through yourself. It means His mercy surrounded you, even when you thought He was silent. You see, pain doesn't mean He's abandoned you. Pain often means He's closest to you, Because when the people you love leave, when the ones you trust betray you, when everything you've built collapses overnight, Allah draws nearer to your heart than ever before. He takes away the voices you depended on, so you'll finally hear His. He removes the hands you clung to, so you'll finally hold on to His rope. He allows your heart to shatter, so He can rebuild it stronger, softer, purer than it's ever been before. Do not grieve. Indeed, Allah is with us. Quran 9:40. Read that again. Allah is with you, even here, even now, even in this pain. And maybe right now you're questioning why this had to happen, why you had to lose what you loved, why you had to carry wounds you never asked for, why Allah let you walk through fire when you begged Him to make the path easier. But fire doesn't burn gold, it purifies it. And that's what Allah is doing with you. He's burning away what's temporary, what's impure, what's holding you back from what He's written for you. He's shaping you into a heart that can carry blessings without becoming consumed by them. Sometimes we cling so tightly to what hurts us that Allah has to rip it from our hands. And yes, it feels cruel at first. It feels unbearable. It feels unfair. But one day, you'll thank Him for every wound, because without those heartbreaks, you wouldn't have grown roots this deep. Without those betrayals, you wouldn't have learned to lean on Him instead of people. Without those losses, you wouldn't have made space for what He's preparing to give you. Right now, your wounds feel raw, but one day, they'll feel like proof. Proof that Allah chose you, proof that He carried you, proof that He never let go. You'll stand in front of blessings so perfect, so aligned, so divinely timed, that you'll whisper through trembling lips, Ya Allah. Now I understand why it hurt so much. You were never breaking me. You were building me. And in that moment, you'll see your past differently. You'll stop wishing it never happened. You'll stop resenting the pain, because you'll realize that every wound was a door, and every tear was a prayer, and every heartbreak was a compass, guiding you back to the one who never leaves. Your wounds are not proof of weakness. They are proof of divine love, proof that Allah never abandons the hearts He intends to elevate. 6. The version of you they won't recognize. One day, the people who doubted you will see a version of you they won't even recognize. The ones who whispered behind your back, the ones who laughed at your silence, the ones who left you when you needed them most. They'll see you again, but you won't be the same, because Allah is writing a story for you that none of them saw coming. Right now, they think they know you. They've measured you by the chapters they've seen. They've judged you by the pain they witnessed. They've assumed the broken season you're in is the final version of you. But what they don't know is that Allah has been shaping you in silence. They don't see the nights you've spent crying to Him. They don't hear the du'as you've whispered in sajda. They don't know about the weight you've been carrying and the patience you've been building in secret. They only see your now. They don't see your becoming. And that's exactly how Allah wants it. He's hiding you for a reason. He's protecting the version of you He's building, because what He's preparing for you is too sacred to be revealed too soon. The people who left you needed to leave. The opportunities that slipped away weren't meant to hold you back. They were clearing the path. The delays you hate so much aren't punishment, they're positioning. You think you've been waiting too long. You think everyone else is ahead of you. You think you're falling behind. But listen to me carefully. You're not behind. You're being prepared. And when Allah decides to reveal you, it won't be gradual. It'll be sudden. So sudden even you won't believe it at first. Indeed, Allah's promise is always true. Quran 30:60. There will come a day when the doors that were once locked for you will swing open without you having to knock. There will come a day when the blessings you thought were lost forever will find their way back to you better than you ever imagined. There will come a day when the people who overlooked you will see a version of you they never believed existed. And when that day comes, you won't even want to prove anyone wrong, because you'll know it was never you, it was always him. The same Allah who watched you cry in private will honor you in public. The same Allah who saw your patience in secret will raise you in ways you can't comprehend. The same Allah who hid you in this season is preparing to unveil you when the time is right. So don't rush this process. Don't fight the silence. Don't resent the waiting. Because one day, the version of you Allah reveals will silence every doubt, every whisper, every wound. Do you know why Allah has kept you hidden for so long? Why He's delayed the doors you've been begging Him to open? Why He's stripped away the people you thought would stay forever? Because what He's building inside you isn't ready for the world yet. And more importantly, the world isn't ready for you. He's been taking you through a process that no one else can see. They think you're falling behind, but you're not behind. You're being prepared right now. You're in the quiet season, the season where nothing seems to move, where you feel unseen, where your efforts go unnoticed, where your prayers feel unanswered. But this silence isn't absence. This stillness isn't punishment. It's protection. Because when Allah decides to reveal you, it won't be step by step. It will happen suddenly. One day, the very people who doubted you will wake up and see a version of you they won't even recognize. And when they see you, they won't just see someone who made it. They'll see someone who was carried by Allah when no one else believed in them. They'll see strength they can't explain. They'll see light they can't ignore. They'll see blessings they can't deny. And deep down, they'll know it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't you. It was always Him. Because the version of you that's coming is not rising despite your wounds. It's rising because of them. It's not becoming great in spite of your heartbreak. It's becoming great through it. Every tear you've shed is watering the seeds of your becoming. Every delay you've endured is stretching your capacity to hold what's coming. Every rejection you've faced is redirection toward something bigger than you thought possible. You can't see it yet, but Allah can. He knows exactly what He's preparing you for. And when it comes, it will be so perfectly timed that you'll whisper through your tears, Ya Allah, now I understand. And He provides for them from where they could never imagine. Quran 65:3. One day you'll look around and realize everything you once thought was lost has been replaced by something greater. The heartbreaks that nearly broke you will make sense. The delays that drained you will finally reveal their purpose. The wounds that made you question everything will become proof that Allah was holding you close the entire time. And when that moment comes, you won't feel the need to defend yourself. You won't want to remind anyone of their doubts, because your becoming will speak louder than any words ever could. That day is coming, but until it arrives, stay hidden, stay patient, stay grounded in your dua, because Allah hides the souls He intends to elevate. And when He finally decides the world is ready to see you, you'll walk into blessings so sudden, so overwhelming, so perfectly aligned, that even you will barely recognize yourself. One day, you will wake up and realize that everything you've been through was not breaking you. It was building you. The heartbreaks, the delays, the loneliness, the people who doubted you, the opportunities that slipped away. Every single thing was shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. Right now, you don't see it. Right now, it feels unfair. Right now, you're tired of waiting. You're tired of being underestimated. You're tired of holding on when nothing seems to change. But Allah sees the version of you that you cannot see yet. He knows what's inside you because He put it there. He knows your strength because He wrote it into your story. He knows the light that will one day radiate from you, because he placed it within your chest. Long before you ever knew yourself, this is why he's keeping you hidden. This is why the world doesn't see you yet. This is why the people who underestimated you think they were right about you. Because Allah doesn't reveal his masterpieces before they're complete. The version of you he's shaping right now isn't meant to be revealed in pieces. It's meant to be unveiled in a way so sudden, so overwhelming, so undeniable that even the ones who doubted you will have no choice but to fall silent. And when that day comes, you won't even care about proving them wrong. You won't chase their validation. You won't look back with anger, because by then you'll finally understand that it was never about them. It was always about him. The same Allah who watched you cry alone will honor you in ways you never imagined. The same Allah who tested your patience in silence will bless you in ways too visible to ignore. The same Allah who hid you in this season is preparing to reveal you when the timing is perfect. And when that moment arrives, you'll barely recognize yourself. The person you are today will look back and whisper, "Was that really me? Was that the same heart that once felt so broken?" Yes, it's still you, but it's the version of you that Allah has been shaping all along. Your voice will sound steadier, your heart will beat lighter, your steps will feel guided, your presence will carry something that words cannot explain. A quiet strength, a hidden grace, a divine light. The people who doubted you will see it. The ones who laughed will fall silent. The ones who left will wonder how you made it without them. And those who overlooked you will finally understand what Allah was doing in your silence. You'll rise without chasing. You'll shine without asking. You'll arrive without rushing, because what Allah writes for you comes at the exact moment you're ready to carry it. And whoever places their trust in Allah, He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. And in that moment, you'll bow your head and whisper, "Ya Allah, you were never late. You were always right on time." 7. Your story is being written in silence. Right now, you think nothing is happening in your life. It feels like the world is moving without you. It feels like everyone else is building, growing, succeeding. And you're just here, stuck, waiting for something you can't even name. But listen carefully. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean nothing is happening. Your story is being written in silence. Allah is moving pieces you cannot see. He's aligning moments you don't even know you'll need. He's orchestrating connections, opportunities, and blessings that are already making their way towards you, even though right now it feels like nothing is changing. This quiet season isn't punishment, it's positioning. You see, Allah writes the loudest chapters of your life. On pages the world can't read yet. He prepares the greatest turns in your story, long before you see them coming. And because He loves you, He hides the process until it's complete. That's why you've been misunderstood. That's why certain doors haven't opened yet. That's why some people have drifted away. It's not because you're forgotten, it's because you're being protected. If the world saw your story too soon, they would try to shape it. If they knew where you were headed, they'd try to pull you off the path. If they saw what Allah is preparing for you, they'd try to claim it, limit it, or break it. So Allah hides you. He writes in silence. He works in shadows. And He asks you to trust Him. Even when nothing makes sense, you keep looking at your life and wondering why nothing's moving forward. But what if I told you, you're already moving, just not in ways you can measure yet? Every heartbreak, every delay, every unanswered dua, every night you've cried yourself to sleep, they're all sentences in a chapter you haven't reached yet. And when you finally get there, you'll understand why this silence was necessary. There's a reason Allah keeps some chapters of your life hidden. It's because not everyone is meant to witness the process. Some blessings are too fragile to be revealed too soon. Some transformations are too sacred to be touched by careless hands. Some miracles are written in silence before they're revealed in light. And that's what's happening with you right now. This quiet season isn't a sign that you've been forgotten. It's a sign that you've been chosen. Chosen to carry something the world can't yet understand. Chosen to walk a path that looks empty now, but will one day bloom in ways you can't imagine. Chosen to become a version of yourself. That requires preparation deeper than you've ever known. That's why the world feels distant right now. That's why friends who once felt close suddenly feel like strangers. That's why no one seems to understand the battles you're fighting quietly inside. It's because this part of your story isn't being written for them. It's being written for you and Allah alone. When you're scrolling through life, comparing your pace to theirs, it feels like you're falling behind. But you're not behind. You're being built. Allah knows what He's writing, and He knows exactly when to turn the page. Sometimes we think silence means nothing is happening, but silence is where the deepest movements are made. It's where Allah rewires your heart to let go of what was never meant for you. It's where He softens your soul so you can carry blessings without breaking under them. It's where He strengthens your patience so you can endure storms without losing faith. You don't see it now, but you are becoming someone else. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more rooted in Allah than you've ever been before. And when the time comes, when Allah decides your unveiling has arrived, it won't be subtle. It won't be small. It'll be sudden. It'll be undeniable. You'll rise into blessings so perfectly aligned that even you will whisper through tears, "Ya Allah, now I understand why it had to be this way." And all the waiting, all the heartbreak, all the unanswered prayers will make sense in a single moment. Because your silence was never empty. It was sacred. It was the place where Allah was preparing everything you once begged Him for. 8. Stop trying to prove them wrong. Just let Allah finish. You've spent so much of your life trying to prove yourself, trying to prove your worth, trying to prove your strength, trying to prove that you're more than what they said you were. You've carried their words like chains. Every time they doubted you, you tried to outwork it. Every time they laughed at you, you tried to outrun it. Every time they left you, you tried to outgrow it. And yet, no matter how hard you try, it never feels enough. Because no matter what you do, there's always someone waiting to question you. Always someone ready to remind you of who you used to be. Always someone who looks at your scars and thinks they know your story. But listen to me carefully. You don't need to prove them wrong. Not now, not ever, because your becoming was never meant to be an argument. It was always meant to be a revelation. You don't need to defend yourself against their opinions. You don't need to fight for a place at their table. You don't need to explain the chapters of your life. They were never meant to understand. Let Allah finish what He started in you. The same Allah who's been with you in every silent battle no one knows about will speak for you louder than you ever could. The same Allah who watched you break in private will raise you in ways the world can't deny. The same Allah who saw your patience will make your blessings impossible to ignore. And when that day comes, when He unveils the version of you He's been shaping, you won't even feel the need to say a word. Because your existence will become the proof. Your blessings will become the evidence. Your becoming will be the answer. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for them. Quran 65:3. Stop chasing validation from people whose hearts Allah has already removed from your path. Stop exhausting yourself trying to convince them you were worth keeping. Stop hurting yourself trying to be seen by those Allah has blinded to your value. You don't need their approval when you already have Allah's attention. And one day, the very people who doubted you will see you standing where they never believed you could stand. They'll see you holding blessings they never thought you deserved. They'll witness a strength in you they can't explain And in that moment you'll smile softly, not out of pride, not out of revenge, but out of gratitude. Because you'll finally understand, it was never about proving them wrong. It was always about proving Allah right. You've carried their words for too long, the things they said about you, the doubts they planted in your heart, the laughter behind your back, the times they overlooked you, the moments they made you feel small, and without realizing it, you've been building your life. Trying to escape the version of yourself they painted, trying to prove you're more than what they called you, trying to show them they were wrong about you. But here's the truth. You were never here to convince them of anything. Their approval was never the goal. Their validation was never the measure of your worth. Because the one who writes your story doesn't need their permission to complete it. You see, the same Allah who hid you in this season is the same Allah who will reveal you when the time is right. And when He reveals you, it won't be subtle, it won't be quiet, it won't be something anyone can ignore. Your blessings will speak louder than your defense ever could. Your healing will be brighter than their doubts ever were. Your existence will become living proof that Allah was always with you. And when that moment comes, you won't want to look back. You won't need to remind anyone of how they treated you. You won't even crave their recognition, because you'll finally understand everything they did was part of what shaped you into the person Allah was creating. The people who doubted you were tools in your becoming. The doors that closed on you were guiding you to the doors Allah already wrote for you. The ones who walked away left space for those who were always meant to stay. Every no was clearing the path for a better yes. Every heartbreak was redirecting you to safer love. Every delay was aligning you with divine timing. And through it all, Allah has been watching. He's seen every sacrifice. He's heard every dua. He's counted every tear. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Quran 2:153. This is why you don't need to prove anyone wrong. Because Allah already knows who you are. He knows the weight of what you've carried in silence. He knows the storms you've walked through without breaking. He knows the prayers you've made when no one was watching. So why waste your energy fighting battles? Allah has already won for you. Let Him finish. Let Him complete the version of you He's been shaping in silence. Because when He decides it's time, you won't need to say a single word. People will look at you and know. They'll see blessings they can't explain. They'll witness strength they can't deny. They'll feel a light in you that couldn't have come from anywhere except Him. And when they ask, "How did you do it?" you'll smile softly and whisper, "I didn't. Allah did." That's the beauty of letting Him finish your story. When it's done, there's no argument left, no debate, no explanation needed. Your becoming will be louder than their doubts. Your rise will be greater than their rejection, and your silence will be heavier than any words you could ever speak. So stop fighting to be understood. Stop exhausting yourself to be seen. Stop trying to prove what Allah has already written, because the version of you He's creating will be proof enough. And maybe right now, your life feels quiet. Your prayers feel unanswered. Your wounds feel fresh. Your journey feels lonely. But listen to me. Nothing you've been through has been wasted. Not a single heartbreak, not a single delay, not a single silent night. Every unanswered prayer, every door that stayed closed, every person who left, every moment you felt unseen, all of it has been shaping you into the person Allah is creating in silence. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't abandoned you. He hasn't delayed your story out of neglect. He's been building you, hiding you, protecting you, preparing you. And when He finally decides the time is right, the version of you He reveals will be so strong, so grounded, so full of light that even you won't recognize yourself. The people who doubted you will fall silent. The ones who left will understand why they couldn't stay. The doors that once rejected you will open without you having to knock, because when Allah finishes what He's writing, it will be undeniable that it was always Him. So stop rushing, stop comparing, stop trying to control what only Allah can unfold. Your job is not to prove anyone wrong. Your job is to trust the author of your story, because when the chapter turns, you'll see blessings so perfectly aligned that you'll whisper through your tears, Ya Allah, you were never late. You were always right on time. Ya Allah, write for us stories that bring us closer to you. Complete the version of us that you've been shaping in silence. Elevate us without arrogance. Bless us without measure. Heal the wounds we hide from the world. Replace every heartbreak with something better. And make us living proof of your mercy, your timing, and your love. Ameen.